I want to tell you about how I failed. And I failed a lot in many ways. I mean, I fucked it up.
Got us some nice pomegranate here. Occasionally, Jess will buy a new fruit for the kids to try, or for all of us to try. Like, she'll be at the store, they'll see a fruit we've never had before. So we'll grab it. Today was pomegranate.
I had it before.
I mean, you've had a pomegranate before, like a fresh pomegranate, like we've cut it. Where did you have pomegranate?
Thanksgiving. The pomegranate seeds, remember?
We've had them dried, right?
Oh, we've had dried pomegranate seeds. Today we've got a pomegranate we cut open. I YouTubed how to do that. I did find out, however, that pomegranates stain your clothes. And I'm wearing a white shirt.
And I got stained.
And I got pomegranate juice on my shirt.
Something for all of us.
Jess, where are we going tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
To the mountains.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. Oh, Judah.
Here, Daddy. Here. Read this one.
Okay. You are special, Dad.
Now turn the page.
Toot.
Like two? No, toot.
They wrote two.
Whoa.
Toot.
That was this project, was to like make something, a card for someone. Like, I'll make one for everybody.
The story of my failures, I believe, really starts in 2017. Now, I was a youth pastor and a worship pastor for about 5 years at this point. And like I've mentioned before, I thought I was going to be in ministry for the rest of my life. Like, I thought this was the path for me because at the time I believed that's what God wanted for me. Now, this is when I started questioning everything in 2017, when I started evaluating what I believed and trying to figure out what all of this even means. This was the first time I'd ever really done this in my life, and it led me to quitting my pastoral jobs. And at the time, I really considered this a failure. I mean, I failed as a pastor, and it's not like when I quit that job that I felt all good and happy and satisfied and that I knew where I was going and my soul was at peace. No, at the time I was in great turmoil because the foundation of my belief for my entire life was starting to crumble. Not only that, but when I quit that job, I disappointed a lot of people. Like, I really felt like there were a lot of people who were very disappointed in that decision and some people who were very hurt by that decision. And in my view, I was failing. I had failed. I did not do the job. You know, at that point, I didn't want to do the job, but still, you look back at this idea you had and the future too. You look at the future and you think, I thought I was supposed to do this, and now I failed at this. And that's just where we get started with our failures, okay? I've put this on my Instagram. If you don't follow my Instagram, the link is down in the description below of this video. But I have asked the question, what would you like to see, or what would you like me to talk about? If you have questions for me, if you have topics that you want me to cover or things that you've heard in previous videos that you want me to elaborate on, I would love to hear from you on what kind of stuff you would like for me to talk about. I've got plenty of ideas and plenty of things that I would love to communicate, and I'll continue to do that. But if you have something specific, put it in the comments below. Let me know what it is. Follow me on Instagram, message me there, answer questions when asked there, and maybe I'll do a video on it. Hope you're having a great day. I decided after some conversations with one of my friends that it would be a good idea to try to start a clothing brand, right? Like, people are always looking for cool clothes, cool t-shirts, all that stuff. And so I jumped in and I got with another friend of mine, and he is a designer and he's really great at his job, and we came up with some ideas and some shirts and built a website. We did the whole thing. We started to market it a bit on Facebook, and there's another friend of mine who is a printer. So he printed our shirts for us, and he has done this in the past. He has been printing and slinging merch since he was in high school. One of the things he told me was, hey, yeah, just here's a little bit of advice. You know, you don't have to take it, but I would start off with one design. That's what I learned. I've done this for a while. Start off with one design and see how that sells. And once you sell that, then maybe go with two designs, you know? Well, I'm early 20s and excited and believing that I can do a lot of things and I can just jump right in. So we printed 4 designs, not 1, 4 designs. And they did not sell. I did not sell those shirts. It just didn't work. We put effort into it, we put time into it. Let's just say I still have Good Brothers shirts in my basement, which was our brand, Good Brothers. This shirt's actually super dope. I love that shirt still and that design. I like this one too, but here's another. It's all good. Good Brothers. Yeah, they're still in my basement. I've still got the shirts in my basement. And I failed. I mean, I came to a point where I had to admit, yeah, this is kind of a wash. I don't know what else to do with these shirts. We've kind of failed. So failure number 2. The next venture I got myself into was with my best friend, and we decided to create a photography studio. He had a connection with a guy. We had a space available. The rent was really cheap, so we jumped on it. The overhead wasn't that much. I mean, it was not bad at all. The only thing we had to do was get it fixed up inside, right? This is an old metal building, drywall on the side separating the units, garage door and door on the side, and it looked like shit on the inside. So we needed to make it not look like shit. So we put money into it. We painted, we bought furniture, we put up slats of wood to cover the ripped up insulation, to make it look like a shiplap type deal, you know, Joanna Gaines shit. And it never paid us really anything. We were able to pay rent, but location, marketing wise, it was tough to pull off. Not only that, but we didn't own the building, and the other tenants who had been there a very long time complained about everything. So eventually we got kicked out. There's failure number 3 with more money invested. Now, mind you, at this time, I don't have a full-time job. I'm trying to kind of make money where I can make money, and most of it was being spent. So the next venture I was after was web design. Now, this is something that I did put a lot of time into. I put some money into, but this one was mostly the expense of time. I paid for an online course to learn how to build websites in Webflow from Rand Segal. I would recommend his Webflow University course. So I worked to create my own website specifically for website design and development. I was officially going to sell and build websites on my own. Freelance website builder guy. That's what I was gonna do, and I did. I had a handful of clients, and I believe those jobs went pretty well. But not long after I started doing that was when 2020 hit, and I, with the lack of experience that at that point I had with marketing or in marketing, I started to really just get scared, and I wasn't selling any websites. One of my last clients that I had was an absolute nightmare to work with. It was a shit show, and so I started realizing quickly that this wasn't going to keep working. I don't think I could keep going at this rate. Failure number 4. I had sunk money into it. I had sunk a lot of time into learning how to build websites, and at this point I just knew it's not sustainable for our family. Jess is out with some friends tonight. I got the kids in bed. Everyone's asleep, except Arya, but she's reading. We head to the mountains tomorrow, which is your today if you're watching this when this comes out. Either way, Judah's birthday is next week. We get back the day before his birthday, so I've got some wrapping to do so that we can be prepared, so that when we come back, we don't have to wrap his gifts, that night. Like, it'll just be done, So I'm gonna wrap some gifts and read after that. Maybe get in bed, read, and try to get in bed early. Go to sleep a little earlier. I've had some late nights, early mornings this week, and Daddy's tired. But looking forward to the mountains because that'll be fun. But you know how it goes. Like, you always stay up later on vacation or just as late, and you're playing games. Like, our family, we play a lot of board games and stuff, card games, all that. So we'll be up playing games and all that stuff, and then the kids will wake up just as early. So, but it's fun. Time to wrap. Gotta get back to work. So not only was I investing money in these other places, but I also invested thousands of dollars into my first 5 songs as an artist. And when this happened, I was super excited. I mean, the quality, the songs themselves, you can stream them now. I'm still really stoked about how that all went and very happy with the product. But I invested in this music and I just thought that it would happen really quick. I thought I would become an artist, a well-known artist really quick with great music, great tunes. The guys at the studio were like super into it. I showed friends and other musicians and they're like, this sounds really great. And I was like, okay, great, this is it. Like, this is where we start. I was also having conversations with, I'll just say it, the Jonas Brothers' dad, Kevin Jonas Sr., who lives around our area. And he was giving me some advice, and I was potentially gonna have them manage me as an artist, and they were laying out how much that would cost, like all these different things where I thought, this is looking up. We're going in the right direction here, okay? It didn't work. None of it worked. I had the songs, I had the music, I had these great conversations. I started putting my music out there, and I thought I would just take off. I thought this would just fly. By the time 2021, probably like the end of the year in 2021, I was like really down. I just thought would start happening, and none of it did. So there's failure number 5, music. Why am I telling you this? Why am I talking about all the times I have absolutely failed in the past 5 years? I think failing happens. I don't think you have to fail. There are probably a few people out there in life who do the thing and they just win. They succeed. It just takes off, whatever that thing is. I would say for majority of humans that are trying to achieve something in life, you're going to fail. It's okay. It's part of the process. And it's actually a really good opportunity. As 29-year-old Trent sits here and talks to your face here in January 2023, I can look back and understand why failing is such a good thing. I can look back on each of these failures and learn. I think most things are an opportunity to learn and grow. It just depends what your mindset is. I look back and I will laugh at times and think, wow, that was really dumb that you did it this way. But now I know not to do it that way. Now I know if I were to do something like that, or even the things that I'm doing right now, I look at them in a different way. I look at them and I can apply the things that I learned from these failures to the things that I'm doing right now. I'm sure you can recount something or some point in life that you have failed, that you really fucked it up, that you hurt people, or you lost a bunch of money doing something, or you thought this brand would work, or this idea was genius and it just didn't. You failed. Don't let those failures hold you back. Let those failures remind you and teach you and show you how not to do it. Failure is okay. It's part of it. But whatever you do, don't quit. You're still in it. You're still here. You're right here. You're watching this, so you're alive. Don't quit. Don't give up. Keep at it. Keep going. You have got this shit. All right, beautiful people. I love you. I gotta go.